A fake button, just like in the adventure novels. A kleinzig Trick für einen alten Kacker. A landscape by a painter who was always sitting on the bridge. What became of him? I haven't seen him for a while. For 65 years I had no problem sleeping, and yet I have had many sleepless nights over the last few weeks. Lots of things have accumulated here too. These are lovely shoes, but not my lucky shoes. A lot of memories, but I can't take them all with me. I found this picture in a thrift store. The city dwellers cannot see the horizon, just the next row of houses. If I had been able to look further, I probably would have left years ago. Man plans, and God laughs. Amos. Esther brought me back this picture from a spa town. What was the name again? Trüberbrook. Right. Not again. I should hurry. My lucky shoes could be in there, but I can't reach. A chest full of junk. I'll leave it here. How many hours have I spent here in the workshop? For nothing? I have always enjoyed repairing things myself, though. A trip to the moon. The oven has been out of commission ever since I have used it to store my highly flammable treasures. Such a mess. These contracts are worthless now. Workers leaving the Lumière factory in Lyon. I probably won't be needing this. Paperwork. I'm not taking this. The Great Train Robbery by Edwin S. Porter. I love imported movies from America. 11 minutes of pure excitement. The first movies were documentaries. The Lumière brothers, of course, the Skladanovskys, William Dixon. For me, though, there is one person who changed everything. Georges Méliès. He was the first person who understood the power of film. He told stories and transported us to another world. Married Life by David Vogel. A writer falls for a femme fatale. The whole story takes place in Vienna, Austria. Very nice, but not essential. Am Abend. Oh, this movie is a little more risky, I must admit. I was able to save the projector from the fire. These are spreading faster than the Spanish flu. The SR hoodlums have been in the neighborhood a lot of late. They are becoming more violent. There it was, my cinema. Just the sight of it is still difficult to bear even now. Oh, look. I shouldn't forget this lovely item. There's even some film still left inside. Maybe I can take a picture with it? One last shot. What will I photograph? Wonderful. I'll develop the image once I've set up my laboratory somewhere. A living room, a workshop, and a study. A lone wolf's apartment. That has never bothered me. I like being alone. I could probably go without the razor. It would be a shame to leave these photographs here. Do I really need to take along keys and contracts when I'll no longer be needing them? I have recorded a lot of my thoughts in this journal. It would be a shame to have to leave it here. This jacket takes up quite a lot of space. I should definitely take my passport with me. Done. Not much is left on my list. My lucky shoes. Old shoes are always the most comfortable to wear, though they could do with some new soles. I'm taking my lucky shoes with me. I'm going to need some luck. A jacket for cold days. Who knows where this journey will take us? Do I really need to take along keys and contracts when I'll no longer be needing them? Just a few items left. I'm still missing my pocket watch. I believe it's in my workshop. Esther. That must be her. Hopefully no one noticed. I'll be down soon, Esther. Give me a few more minutes. I will always remember the combination. 1st of December, 1895. That was the day of the first movie screening in Berlin. And then 12 counterclockwise. I actually just wanted to impress a girl. Elsa or Maria. Then 18 clockwise. It may have had an unhappy backstory. And then 95 counterclockwise. But the even grandfather's pocket watch. The watch stopped on the morning of Black Thursday. It was truly a crazy coincidence. The coil spring snapped. But it can surely be repaired again. Oh! They're after me. I have to get out of here, now. I shouldn't bring this. It takes up far too much space. Or maybe I should? No, that would be absurd. Quickly.
Mr. Lieberman, Sturmabteilung, Auxiliary Police. Your neighbor has complained about the constant disturbance of the peace. Open the door.
I can't get around them. It's a trap. I must take the back exit. Quick, Let's get out of here. Move faster, Josef, before they break the door down. That's that. Goodbye, my old apartment. Oh, farewell.
Did Josef make it in the end?
Josef made it. He traveled all the way to Paris with Esther. He then later migrated to the United States on the trail of Hollywood movie stars.
He had his lucky shoes with him.
That's something, at least, and a ton of memories.
Thankfully, those times are over.
And now we have been chatting for ages. I need to get back to work.
Look here, Dad. Dad? Wow, that must have belonged to Bismarck the bird. Or the great-great-great-grandchild of Bismarck the bird. A plate for me, a plate for Dad. Look how quickly you can get from one room to another now. This is a really nice room too, Dad. Surprise! One Daddy special coming up.
But you meant well.
For you.
Thank you.
Do you think people wanted us to find these things?
Some of them maybe. It's coincidence for the others. Just like all the stuff from the attic. Can you help me throw them into the chute? All those things can go. Just throw them into the chute.
old stuff. Where did all this stuff come from?
It was all in the attic still. That too. Excellent, Froggy.
All of that has to go now. What is that? What is that funny thing?
That's an old typewriter. That's how people used to write. Give it a go.
But it's not even plugged in. Does it have a battery?
It works without electricity. A little like stamping.
Can I write a story with it?
You can use it to write anything.
Maybe an adventure, a true legend. You know, before, you used to make up a story for me every night.
Yeah, to help you fall asleep. But that got a bit exhausting for me after a while.
Can we do that again? Every night? Please, please.
You come up with something. You're already in second grade.
Okay. So, this typewriter once belonged to a great author. No, an astronaut.
Maybe both can be true.
You know what, Antonia? This looks pretty good so far. Well, for the 5th draft. If I could just keep my eyes open for another hour or two. Maybe then I'd manage to rewrite the beginning again. Especially with all those wonderful suggestions from up on high. No time like the present.
The cosmonaut was ready to set forth into an unknown world. As her crew was stuck on the surface of the moon, she had no option but to pilot her ship. I should probably decide on a name for that spaceship. The space cruiser Meteor, to her destination on her own. It carried her farther and farther away from the sun and so far away from the blue planet. I'll leave it like that for now. I can always change it later if I need to. In the 6th or 16th pass. She was ready to lead humanity into a new era. Her destination was the planet Jupiter, the largest and most massive of the known planets, the king of the gods. Jupiter had always drawn people's eyes towards the sky. The signal that originated from there had been puzzling humanity for 6 years. She looked at the photograph in her hand. It was the last group photo of the crew, taken on Earth before the blast-off. There's still 2 possibilities for the backstory. Both would work, but what would the publishing authority prefer? She felt as if an eternity had passed. With tears in her eyes, she remembered the unfortunate fate of Commodore Buzz Gibson, who fell victim to pressure loss in the turmoil of the failed circumnavigation of the moon. She would see this mission through to its end, if not for the people of Earth, then for the comrades who had been forced to stay behind. Phew, it's a lot of repetition. I'm sure some readers will be grateful for the summary. A quick break might be in order. Why do I have all these old tombs from the great Carl G. Zelensky laying around? Mom was always so proud of Dad's achievements. I always wondered whether she even really liked his books. The Russian authors have got the hang of it. My first book, Change, is almost 5 years old. Although, Standstill would have been more appropriate after the publishing authority had gone through it. But it was an achievement to have published anything. If I hadn't bumped into the physics students in the library, the whole story would be a sloppy mess. It's such a shame that the night sky in the city is always so bright. Sometimes I wish I never signed this contract. Did I really smoke them all? I'm quite proud of the story structure. The plot is relatively complex, and it's still accessible. Huh? What? Stay calm. You're just a bit tired.
Warning, warning. Pilot to the bridge. Interstellar objects in close range.
The first female cosmonaut in space. Excellent inspiration for my story. I don't always get around to cleaning when I'm busy writing. The coffee dried up some time ago. The ship is right on track. I shouldn't change the destination coordinates. Let's see. What happened? The cosmonaut had almost left the asteroid belt. The last few rocks streaked past dangerously close to the ship. She had to take action.
Computer, Full power to the maneuvering thrusters.
Confirmed. Redirecting power to the maneuvering thrusters.
I wonder if something like this might be possible someday. It's certainly conceivable. But the navigation computer was at risk of overloading. There was no time to lose.
Computer, overload the thrusters for the tectonic impulse wave.
It was an old trick she'd learned at the academy that would now be put into practice. At the farthest edge of the asteroid field, the cosmonaut saw her long-awaited destination. The planet Jupiter was in sight. Come on. A little more detail will bring this scene to life. The view was breathtaking. Revealed before her was a pristine, brightly shining scarlet-red orb, pulsing like life itself. The view reminded her of the maple tree in her dad's garden in the fall. The longer she gazed, the more it seemed that someone, or something, was gazing back at her. That's getting a bit over the top now. I'll have to go over it again later. The surface of the planet was turbulent and agitated. Its atmosphere was being torn apart by storms. I hope my readers will be able to imagine any of that. And now, an exciting lead into the next chapter to keep my readers hooked.
Computer, establish contact via radio wave telegraphy. Use the origin of that strange signal as a destination coordinates.
Hailing frequencies opened.
The communication model emitted a signal.
We've done it. It sounds like someone's trying to make contact. This is a space cruiser Meteor heading to the planet Jupiter. To whom am I speaking? Come in.
This is Bulow. I hope I'm not disturbing your work too much.
Yes. Comrade Bulow. Hello. I was actually just about to take a break. Oh, the new revision is almost complete.
Ah, yes, exactly. About your novel, hang on. The one called...
Yes. I'll go through it slowly so you can write it down. Silent beings from the planet Jupiter.
Yes, exactly. Of course, that's the name. Yeah, it's a powerful title. So about the new draft. I've just come out of a meeting with the publishing authority.
Yes?
Unfortunately, there are still one or two issues. You know what they're like. It's nothing personal.
Yeah, I know.
First of all, regarding the main character and the idea of a female cosmonaut, think about character leads like Yuri Gagarin. People just relate more to male protagonists.
Well, I think...
And then we thought about it a little and wondered whether contacting an alien civilization by radio might also not just be very reckless. Imagine what would happen if there was an enemy of the state on the other end.
But it all revolves around that. That's the core of the entire story, and the book is almost finished now.
It will only be finished once the approval procedure's complete. Zelensky, you have to deliver now.
Yes.
Maybe you could contact your father, Carl.
Because he did everything you told him to, but the book is almost finished.
Excuse me? Miss Zelensky?
That's fine, Comrade Bulow. I'll take care of it without my father. What a disaster. They want me to change everything. How am I even supposed to manage that? I have to pull myself together now, or else everything will blow up in my face.
Attention. Fluctuation in the fabric of space-time. Danger. Danger.
Back to the bridge. The space cruiser Meteor had run into massive turbulence. It almost seemed like the fabric that made up interplanetary space was being torn apart. The changes are tearing everything apart. They want me to ask for Dad's input because he always did what they said, but we'll get there. All the systems had failed. Even the controls were unresponsive to the cosmonauts' inputs. She had to find and open the maintenance hatch. Nothing's working anymore. Broken. The maintenance hatch. What a mess. Right. Stay calm. We can do it. What did Bulo say? No female protagonists. Contact is too dangerous. Where do I start? What if I just changed? Maybe I can appease Bulo if I change the flashback into the cosmonauts' past in Chapter 4? And maybe if the female main character isn't quite as independent. But if I change that, it will obviously impact everything that happens later. Oh geez, the simplest chain reaction. A cascade. A butterfly effect. Maybe it would be better to go to Chapter 5 and change the focus here. I was never keen on the orbiting of the moon anyway. The crew instead had problems with... The crew could find an interplanetary space casino that would obviously be run by Westerners. They steal money from our heroes, and that would also give me an explanation for the lack of fuel. Will that help, though? The core of the story is supposed to be about something completely different. Come on, Antonia. Let your imagination run wild again. What if we spice up the story with real science fiction elements like... The story begins in an underwater laboratory. A lone scientist, a sea amoeba, a great love story. It's only getting more complicated. Don't let it drive you crazy, Antonia. Concentrate on the core of the story. The core. It needs to be something even more powerful. Everything is possible. There are no limits. The greatest threat to the crew is... It turns out that the Earth is being ruled by a secret league of fascist dolphins, led by the love-struck sea amoeba, and they are in constant struggle with the existence of the collective swarm intelligence of subjugated laboratory mice. There. I wouldn't need to explain much more than that. That would solve almost all my problems. Oh no. But then, is that still the core of my story? I think I've almost cracked this nut. I have to go further. Another stroke of genius. It turns out in the end, the signal was fabricated by intellectual vampires from Venus. They could even join forces with the casino operators from the moon. After all, they're bloodsuckers too. That makes total sense. That's it. Just brilliant. I think this idea is now complete garbage. I'm officially at the end of my rope. I'm breaking more than I'm fixing at the moment. What would Dad do now? I want to tell a story in which people surpass their own abilities. That's the core of this story. I need to keep a cool head and think. Coffee. Yes, I need coffee. My last chance. Do I even have any left? Fortunately, the essential themes will hold the story together. What have I done? Where's the coffee machine again? Thank you, Comrade Bulo, for your many wonderful suggestions. Greatly appreciated. I can't get Bulo's comments out of my head. Who designed these endless hallways? It's such a waste of material. Bulo and all his changes. I guess I'll have to fight to have a female protagonist in my own book. There were originally 7 of us. This was never intended to be a solo mission. If we really do happen to come across any alien life, I'm sure Professor Palemba will be very annoyed about the missed opportunity. We didn't have a xenolinguist on board for nothing after all. Marta would definitely know what to do. It certainly won't get any easier without a doctor and a cook on board. Heike Jung, the pilot. That's me. Liu always kept the ship in good shape. I can only hope it doesn't fall apart without her.
Miss Zelinsky, this is Bulo. The Publishing Authority still has a few questions regarding the commander of the ship. You see, the Commodore is a capitalist Westerner, an American even. That's obviously an issue.
Gibson? Yeah, but he moved to Berlin with his parents as a child.
We know, but it's too confusing. Make it neater. Wouldn't it be better if he had grown up in a socialist sister country?
But you did read The Commodore Dies During the Lunar Orbit.
Of course, but you would expect a heroic sacrifice like that to come from someone from a socialist country. Come on, Zelinsky, you're an author. Just pick one. Can't be that hard.
Of course, the Commodore could be a good party activist.
The Commodore, may he rest in peace, was first and foremost a Soviet patriot.
Wonderful, and excellent suggestion.
And instead of hamburgers, he loves Solyanka. How exciting.
Just like always, well, I could care less. Coffee. I wanted to grab coffee. It'll clear my head.
Hello, this is Bulo. You're sure on the phone a lot when you should be writing. Ecology?
Sorry?
Ecology is a contemporary topic, and we think it would work really well for your story. Clean air is really wonderful. The Publishing Authority agrees. Do you think we can squeeze that in?
Air? Of course. Actually, there is simply no air to breathe on board the ship, hence the spacesuits.
I want to go over this topic again later. Have you spoken to your father yet?
We agreed that I would work it out myself, didn't we?
Oh yes, apologies. My mistake. So, fresh air, yes, write it in.
Impossible. Oh, whatever. It's illogical anyway, but maybe the ship could just have... Insect-based air filtration has been all the rage in fresh air production since the 2002 Ecology Conference. Unfortunately, maintenance errors caused some of the insects to escape from their tanks. It's just complete nonsense. That looks really inviting.
Bulu again. About the spacesuits. The way you've described them, it's just... I can't get the image of the suits from those silly American films out of my head.
Excuse me, what?
It would be bad if other readers also think of an American. I mean, in terms of appearance. Because of the spacesuit. We have to do something to help them there. I mean, you, as the author, have to do something. Look, the suit that Yuri Gagarin wore, that had a special... something. What's it called again?
Aesthetic?
Yes, exactly. Aesthetic. Very apt. Goodbye.
It's like being in a madhouse. I think I'm beginning to understand how Dad must have felt.
The cosmonaut wore her comfortable SK-6 spacesuit, the bright orange of the outer material manufactured by tireless workers' hands. Gave her a sense of safety and security. It reminded her of home. A good feeling. Even insects in the air filtration tank won't be of any help. How is anyone supposed to form a clear thought when they're constantly being interrupted? My beautiful SK-6 has a long and rich history. It's a good thing that Bulu and I were able to clarify this. The spacesuits can stay. My beautiful SK-6 has a long and rich history. It's a good thing that Bulu and I were able to clarify this. The spacesuits can stay. How comfortable. I could lie down. Just for a second. Bula will never find me here. Bula will never find me here.
Bulu again, Miss Zelinsky, I forgot to mention something. In Chapter 9, there's reference to the ship being armed with these nuclear warheads.
That's right, they're used in Chapter 12 in...
We know. Only do you not think that these days, I mean, just the word nuclear triggers some pretty strong feelings? I once had a similar discussion with your father.
Yes, and in the future, these once deadly weapons are used peacefully and demonstrate how humanity as a whole has evolved. It's important, Bulu. Bulu? Are you still there?
Cut the nuclear weapons, or the publishing authority will cut your book.
I can't get Bulu's comments out of my head. Despite sufficient capacity, the ship obviously did not carry any nuclear warheads. where you may have once found deadly weapons, you would now only find the socialist drive for world peace and boundless love. All of these changes are a nightmare. I have to focus and keep the core of my message. I need a break. And then I'll start a respectable career, I think. Finally! The coffee room. From here, you can see the space cruiser's best side. From here, you can see the space cruiser's best side. The core is becoming increasingly unstable. There it is, my coffee, black and delicious. Just what I needed. We often sat here together with the crew and just had fun. You can feel the coffee enter your brain's pathways and deliver nothing but goodness. A little boost of energy was exactly what I needed. Back to work. Bulo and the Publishing Authority are a disaster, but I'm not giving up yet. The core of the story is damaged, but it's still there. Nothing has been in vain, as long as I keep the core of my message.
Miss Linsky, I have good news. The Publishing Authority has suggested that we get your father in on the project.
Sorry?
Your father's an accredited author. The Publishing Authority trusts him. He could help us. He could especially help you.
They want his name, don't they? He'll be the one on the book. What about me? I wrote this book.
All I'm saying is the Publishing Authority's patience has its limits. They could still reject the book. And, if I'm being honest, the decision's already been made. The manuscript is already with your father.
Excuse me? What?
I know it isn't easy, but I'm sure that this is the right path forward now.
Oh, of course.
Fantastic. We're in agreement then.
Bulo! You need to calm down first, Tony. I'm sure I can persuade Dad to keep his hands off it, but then they'll make me write loop after loop until nothing is left of the core at all. If the core of the story is really this important to me, then Dad can put his name on the book, and maybe it will get through that way. But then, what about me? That's KARL. It stands for Kinetic Artificial Repair Lead. It's a maintenance robot. A few plants. They won't be of much help to me. Professor Palembe's toad lilies, the first of their kind to be grown in space. I can't get to the core from here. I'm not actually trained to mess about with the core at all. If I had just left my chief engineer in the story, instead of leaving her stranded on the moon with the others, she always had her optronic coupler with her. Let's see.
Miss Zelinsky, we have to talk about the technology on board the ship again. We think the designations for some of the tools are a little too elevated. Factory workers, farmers, they shouldn't feel excluded as readers.
But we're talking about a spaceship here, not a trabant.
We don't think that the main character necessarily has to have an academic background, right?
Understood. What if instead they were a simple farmer from the countryside?
Someone from industry would be even better. A simple worker, for example.
What a great idea.
Wonderful. Goodbye.
What should I use to open the hatch? Whatever you want, Bulo. Fortunately, advanced socialist technology during the era of space travel had remained robust and accessible. She had to redirect the energy to stabilize the core. There were 2 switches behind the hatch. One of the main systems had to be deactivated. She could choose between the life support systems and the lighting. The cosmonaut didn't waste much time choosing. And decided that switching off the lights would be the less effective to redirect energy to the core. Thankfully, I know the engine room like the back of my hand. It looked to her like the core might be calming. That should be enough to stabilize the core for now, but it won't hold forever. I need to find a solution so that I can safely complete the mission.
Warning. Core status critical.
Damn it.
Recommending emergency activation of the KARL repair unit.
Activate the KARL repair unit? Please don't. I know Bruno wants me to ask Dad for help, but I have to do it myself. Activating KARL would mean admitting failure. Everyone says I'm lucky to be the daughter of such a famous author. It's just that the author in question is a stooge of the system. I will lose my shit if this telephone rings again.